Hey, Dr. Pradna here. Today I'm going to discuss about mucormycosis because it is the current hot topic these days and people have a lot of misconception about the disease. So, first thing I want to tell you that there is nothing to worry about the disease if you are taking proper care, precaution, and you are watching your symptoms. Okay, because this is not a contagious disease like COVID. It will won't spread like uh, personal contact, but you need to get diagnosed and treated early in order to prevent the complications. So we'll see about it. So what is mucormycosis? You might have already known it is a very serious and very rare fungal infection and it results in acute and rapidly advancing disease condition. We call it as a mucormycosis. Okay, the rhinocerebral mucormycosis is the common type of infection we are seeing these days, where death rate is 50 to 85%. So that's why it has gained attention of a lot of us. Okay, these fungi are already present in the environment, but when the immunity of the patient gets weakened, they get enter in our body and can produce the disease mucormycosis. Okay, so what are the types? Rhinocerebral mucormycosis, where the nose, sinus, eyeball, and brain are get involved, and this is the common type of mucormycosis we are seeing these days. Then pulmonary mucormycosis, where the lungs gets affected. Intestinal mucormycosis, where the gastrointestinal tract gets affected. Renal mucormycosis, where both the kidneys gets affected. And cutaneous, where the skin involvement is there. And disseminated is where when this fungi enter into the blood and produce the mucormycosis. So these days we are seeing commonly this rhinocerebral mucormycosis, so I'll be discussing about its causes, feature, and all these things. Okay, so obviously, is you might have known this mucormyocytes are the reasons for the production of this disease. Okay, and it spreads through either inhalation or through cut over the skin or through burns. So, what are the contributing factors? First contributing factor, which is very important, is a weak immune system. See, we are surrounded by viruses, bacteria, and fungi, but not all of them causes diseases in us because our body is have that immune system to protect ourselves from that causative organisms. But when this immune system gets weakened, we are very prone to get infected. Same happens with the mucormycosis. Okay, so if the patient is already suffering from HIV or poorly controlled diabetes or autoimmune disease, it's more likely to get infected with the mucormycosis. Autoimmune diseases when our own immune system recognize our own cells as the antigen or as a foreign body. Okay, so that disease condition is called as autoimmune diseases, where also the immunity gets weakened. So it is the post-COVID condition actually when the immunity is weakened, and if the patient is having any one of these, they are more likely to get infected. The second reason is the use of medicines. See, corticosteroid use, chemotherapy is the treatment for cancer patients, and immunosuppressant drugs are the drugs which we use for the autoimmune diseases. Okay, see, these days everyone is blaming to this corticosteroids, humidified oxygen, and immunosuppressant drugs, but see, there are some conditions when there is absolute necessary to use these drugs. Okay, so it is nothing wrong to use this drug whenever there is absolute necessary, even though they are contributing factor for the disease. And the patients with the trauma, burns, cut, and recent organ transplant can cause the disease or can contribute for the production of disease. Okay, see, even though everyone is blaming to this weak immune system and medicines, but when the first wave of COVID came, that time also we were following the same treatment protocols, but still the disease mucormycosis was not there. What is the reason? See, a lot of doctors these days are commenting about this. The mutation of COVID-19 is the reason for the production of mucormycosis. Okay, so that is the second possibility after weak immune system. So what are the symptoms of rhinocerebral mucormycosis? Is the severe pain. The pain will be not simple myalgia, but the neurologic pain will be there, and it is so severe. Redness of the affected site, swelling over the nose and sinuses, and it is just not a palpable, but it is be there. Noticeable swelling will be there. The blood vision, eye swelling, and brown discharge through nose, fever, and headache. So these are the features when the patient present with, and so what is the main features here? The severe uncontrollable pain, redness, swelling, and blood vision. If you are getting any one of these symptoms, better to so when it comes to the treatment, we have to treat the disease fast and aggressively because the disease is spreading very fast and aggressively. So we have to take fast action. First thing, there are several steps you need to think about A is control underlying disease, that is associated conditions has to be treated like COVID or diabetes, etc. B, start with the antifungal medications. Amphotericin B is the drug of choice which has to be given IV. Then C is the surgery is indicated where surgical debridement has to be done. Why we perform surgery is we remove the infected tissue. Okay, so whatever the tissue has got infected with the mucormycosis, we need to remove that in order to prevent its spread. Okay. See, for example, if the eyeball is involved, we need to take it out because we want to limit the disease there only. We don't want to spread the disease to our brain. CSD. When it comes to the Ayurveda, we can follow the Vata Pitta Pushti Chikitsa and Krimi Chikitsa. See, we can't do surgical debridement in home. We can't have the amphotericin B injection IV in the home. Likewise, we can't take Ayurvedic treatment in the home. You need to consult Ayurveda physician, and depending upon your presenting features, it needs to be treated. So, what are the complications? Tissue damage will be there due to this fungi, blindness, secondary bacterial infection, and death can occur. So, what are the precautions we can take here? We need to focus on the self-care measures, the mask, and whatever the clothing you are wearing, that needs to be clean, and it should not be moist with the sweat, etc. Because the moist are the areas which facilitate the growth of this fungi. Environmental sanitization has to be done around your home and inside your home. Mostly you have to focus on the kitchen where the remitted food particles are the area which allows this fungi to grow. Okay, then bandaging wounds, it can enter into your body through the infected wounds, so make sure you will clean it properly. Limit medicinal use these steroids and all these drugs whenever there is absolute necessary. Control comorbid conditions, diabetes, etc., that already we have discussed. Then what Ayurveda says about this is, as this is the disease which is produced due to weak immune system, we have to work it on to building our immunity. Okay, so Chyawanprash 15 grams daily, once a day, has to be given. See, there are a lot of other immunomodulative drugs are available, but Chyawanprash is widely available, widely acceptable, and it has the good taste also. It don't have any palatable issue, so we can use this drug. Then gandush with warm water plus haridra and nimba. We have to take 100 ml of warm water. In that, add half teaspoon of haridra and half teaspoon of nimba, and you just need to hold in a mouth for 2 minutes. Your nostrils with Gogrutha daily. Gogrutha is nothing but the cow ghee. Next is the steam inhalation with pudina leaves once a day. See, it is okay to take a steam once a day, but don't take a steam for 5 to 10 times a day, because Ayurveda never ever advises you to take a steam for 5 to 10 times, because if you take steam for this much time, obviously it is going to damage your nasal mucosa and your cilia. Okay, so don't rely on any WhatsApp messages and don't take steam 5 to 6 times, 5 to 10 times a day. Next is take 150 ml of warm milk. In that, add half teaspoon of haridra, and you just can take it 2 times a day after food. And also haridra drops are available. You can add 2 drops in 150 ml of milk and you can have it. Then have light, simple homemade food. Avoid oily, spicy, salty food, curd, fermented food, and fish. So these are the Ayurveda's version about the prevention of disease. See, keep in mind, guys, this is not the treatment of mucormycosis. So these are the preventive aspect post COVID. You with these medicines in order to prevent the disease. Okay, and if you are getting any symptoms of mucormycosis, you just consult a physician. So take home messages: get diagnosed early and get treated early. Start medicines to improve your immunity and do not panic. See, in the first slide also I have cleared this is not a contagious disease. So don't get panic, take your proper precaution, but keep watch on your symptoms if you are post-COVID. Okay, and early treatment has the greater chance of recovery. So this is about it. I hope I have given you value. Thank you.